Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy XIV Online. We are heading into episode... Ooh, I did write it down. 274. With Roselore Seraphina, we're actually going to be chasing some of the main scenario quests because we are currently leveling up. I thought we'd leveled up our samurai. Ah, I know why, because I wanted to get through the thing. So we should be working... No, we are working on our samurai. That's our ninja. Now, Samurai has a couple more episodes to go. Rightio. Adventures, my bad. I know, I'm just trying to work out. I can actually do that one. That's right, because we've ran a dungeon. It's been a little while since I played, so I'm just getting my head back around the character. We are currently playing For the Greater Good, which is a main scenario quest. And it is about halfway down patch 2.4, which is Dreams of Ice. So I was thinking we might finish patch 2.4. I know, I'm just looking at what's coming through and I'm just trying to work out if I want to do that. What's my equipment like? I know, equipment rules all in this game. You've got to just kind of make sure you're up there. I've got 109 equipment. We're looking at 115. 115. That should be enough for us to get through. What are our Control C? Our currency's like, we're at 331 Allegan tomestones. That's not too bad. I don't think it gets us anything too high. Our backpack is beautifully empty. Nice. We have started, actually no, we're coming in toward the end of a week for the challenge log. So what did we manage to do this week? I haven't touched the game for a little while with this character. The other character has got a couple of them done. There's been a very large and chunky event in another game that I'm playing. So I've been covering that. There is, however, an event in this game I've been playing that we should probably look at. But before we do, let us go for the greater good. Actually, does that mean I've got another dungeon to do in here? No. So we could try and get to the end of patch 2.4 done. I'm going to record a few episodes back to back as I normally do. Let's go. Alphinaud, you wanted to speak with me, my friend. No, not Fluffy. Fluffy, get your little beak out of it. Don't you uncooperative creature, you. Not paying you attention. Yet I'm going to dismiss him in a minute. Right. For the greater good. Though not given to small talk, Alphinaud can think of no better way to pass the time until Menphilia arrives. This will be interesting. I don't know if there'll be a duty with this one, though. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Fortance. I trust your time there proved fruitful. Would that it had, Urianger, and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with the dragon, the gravest of all sins according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortance. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Well, yeah, she said. Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Aymeric might take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I had expected, Sir Aymeric. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Heloni that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Drovanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would give a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervour may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and Scripture tells us only so much. Wow. Would that it told us more. I wonder what passes between these two. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. But truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as god. The sole exception being good King Moggle Mog the 12th, the myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Moggles god. Since Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Minfilia. They have them both in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetheryte Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetheryte somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second Aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we may have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Chalayan might be able to assist us. I pray that you're right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. The plot thickens. While Minfilia looks into our Aetheryte problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Coerthas is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you were not aware. Yeah, Ros, that's a responsibility. Good. I knew you would understand. Yuya Haze can apprise you of the details. Please excuse my voice, guys. I have been sick for about 2 weeks and I'm getting better, but I'm not over it yet. I will keep going. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights will hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. I'm trying to remember his voice in my head. I'm not quite nailing it, though. Apologies. Let us go. We've accepted our quest. We are heading out to do something for the greater good, right after we speak to Yuyahaze. There you are, Roselore. Commander Leverdier instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nary a moment ago I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danafin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. His mercenary attitude bothers me, and while I know the story, this is only I think it's only the second time I've gotten this far with the character. So I've forgotten quite a lot. Alright, now, one of the things I've been enjoying with one of my other characters is grabbing my mounts, my mount guide here, and I want to make it mount roulette instead of chicken roulette. Okay, so we don't know which mount I'm going to drag out of here. I only have 4 with this character, and it looks like I haven't done this year's thing either. So let's see who we drag out of the box. It's alright, Fluffy, you can fly along beside us. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a nice first start. I love the different music that plays for each mount too. I've only just recently discovered this, so I'm kind of now I have to go find more mounts. It's really cool. Alright, might help if I looked. Okay, we might come down. Clomp across the snow in our size 200 metal boots. Oops, I've gone over the top of it. What level are we? 51. Okay, so the chinchillas and things should leave us alone now. Oh wow, is he okay? He does not look okay. Fluffy, get your fluffy tail over here, please. And you know what? We need to eat breakfast so we can get some extra XP. What's that give me? Control for crafting, craftsmanship. You know, you can eat. There we go. No, that's gathering. Don't drink that. Alright, we can eat stuff that's not specifically designed for. Oh, what's that? Bacon bread? Excellent. Let's grab some bacon bread. Use that. What's this? Even star boots, level 110. I think my gear is already beyond that though. Yeah, that's fine. We've been shopping clearly. I'm just going to right click on this and we're going to sort it so I've got my stuff. Oh, I don't know if that helped. Alright, well it's kind of okay, maybe. Let's talk to our 3rd unit brave. Hi. Wow, you do not look well. Darls, balls, my ankle's on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danafin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. This snow is so fresh, they shouldn't be hard to find. And you are going to make it back to the... Yeah, you'll make it back to the castle. Wow, he looks a bit knackered, doesn't he? Alright, through Danafin Pass, that would be down here if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right through there. We could cheat and fly over the top. I mean, you know, we do have a flying mount and it would be... Ooh, what's that? I'm thinking that's a level 50 hunt target that's going to kick my tail if I go and disturb it. Ah, yeah, we got it. You know, one day we're going to go hunting all of these things. Okay. So this would be a lot harder if we were level 49 or below, because the chinchillas would be like, you are lunch, mate. Those cute little fluffy tails, do not let them fool you. Let's go for a run. I know, I'm getting bored. Whose idea was it to walk when we could fly? Bad idea. Let's go for a run. What can I summon? I love... Oh, my unicorn! Unicorn mount is collected if you level your conjurer up enough and follow the quest through as far as you can. You should get a quest where you get to look after a unicorn. It's a side quest, I think, not a main. And yes, it can fly. See, I'll just go this way. Look. How cute is that? Beautiful. Oops. Oh, no. Oh, I know. Just occasionally my mouse does weird stuff. Oh, fresh prints. Here we go. We're about to get mugged by something evil, and I've forgotten how all my skills work because I haven't been playing a samurai track with my other character. Tracks leads southeast. Where's my compass? Oh, actually, I can just follow the little thing. 45, so if we were level 55 or below, these things might be a problem. They still might be a problem because they're still red, but they're the little arrow points down, so they are less likely to want to eat us. The 3rd unit brave. Are you okay, man? Hi. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scale beast and Yuhase, I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. East. Well, it's more kind of east-southeast, but okay. Oh, it could have been just straight east, I see. Let's move our tails. That looks like someone in trouble over there. I see a haze of purple. We've got this. Just go straight through, because that way we'll draw them away from him. Tab. Alright, what am I? Malay. Right, I get this. Okay. 8. What? Oh, am I stunned? Don't just stand there. 8. And slap that. And I don't know what that does. That looks exciting. Let's have a bit of hit points and some of that. I know I'm learning my... That is something I should be hitting first. I don't know what it is. I'll look it up in a minute. I probably should have checked my skills before we... Oh, wait, 2. Leave my bird alone. You, hateful harrier. Okay. Looks like we have things we can do in sequence. And I'm completely forgetting how this class works. What if I... Oh. Oh, well, fiddlesticks. I was trying to explore my skills. Alright, that one reduces the amount of damage taken for the next attack. That's why it's in my control 1 spot. This one delivers an attack with a potency of 100. What does that one do? Delivers an attack with to all nearby. So that's my attack everything skill. Ranged attack. That's 8. That's why it's on 8, because that's where I put my ranged attacks. Jinpu goes to grants Fugetsu. Right, that's why it's a combo. Yukikaze combo. So Hakaze. So this increases the Kenki gauge, which is this thing here, if I want that to build up. Alright, and I'd probably do Hakaze Fuka. Target's flank. That one means I can ignore direction, so we'll do that. I think I've got that on control equals on my other characters. I'll leave it here for the moment and double check later. From the rear, 150 went from the rear. Combo potency is 310, so do it with Jinpu. Increases the Kenki gauge by 5. Grants Getsu. Okay. Alright, so we just have to learn how to do stuff. Yuyahaze. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? It can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Alright, Yuyahaze. Although they said withdraw to the observatorium, so I'm not so sure you're right. Let's go. We are looking for sparkles or purple splotches in the snow. Alright. Ah, Fluffy! Get your fluffy tail back here. This is why we carry Geisel greens, because our bird goes AWOL on a regular basis, every half an hour or so. We're still well fed. We've got 22 minutes left for our own food. So we need to keep half an eye on that. It does help in your battles, provided you're not, eating food for crafting when you're going into fight. As you get better in your culinary skill, and we will be working on that, you'll be able to do better recipes and stuff to eat. Now this is level 35, so we should be mega safe here, but don't bet on it. Yeah, just on the outside. There he is, a suspicious Coerthas. One bet he's going to have a shot at us, isn't he? Here we go. I'm through listening to your excuses. We leave now. Ow, the woods are crawling with those blue coats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Hi, boys. Well, stay with her then, if you think you'll fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by our deeds it has drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will, we shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Ilberd? Damn it all. Oh, really? Fancy meeting you here, Roselore. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favourite Galaean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Ugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphinaud is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for this spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which propelled Dorma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is most generous, Lady Ugiri, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and I shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Roselore, let's wait inside for Captain Ilberd to return and deliver his report. He's like a puppy, isn't he? Finds a more mature leader and he learns. I like with this series, I like the way Alphinaud grows, and I've seen a little bit of growth through here, but you see a bit more as time goes on. I'd like to see a lot more because even though he's like short, I'd like to see him grow to his full stature as the game continues. That'd be really cool. Anyway, let's go. Alphinaud. Captain Ilberd seems confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we're spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Ooh, Tendrils of Intrigue. Alphinaud is eager to hear Ilberd's report on the Ivy. He and Ros are having a good conversation, don't you think? Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. First, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquire their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. Man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortemps. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. A relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Raban's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Aldar's was ever more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adders. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Aldar's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier then than now, aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Although the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but a simple self-preservation. Had Nael Van Darnas's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. It is but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Aymeric, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Roselore, as the realm's stoutest champion. 'Tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Wow. Next quest. Alright, let's chat. I know, we were going to go do samurai stuff, but oh, whoops. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Benfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nofika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Alright. Now, it took me some time to work out that Nofika's altar is the little place outside the Conjurer's Guild in Old Gridania, which actually is a good place to go because we can step from the main scenario quests over to this to 2025's Halloween event, so All Saints Wake. So we'll go there. I don't think we want to bother, and we can't teleport from Ether Shard to Ether Shard. So I guess what we're going to be doing is leaping over to the Black Shroud, New Gridania for 289. That'll bring me down to less than 89,000, but that'll be fine. We'll be right. To buy a large property, if you're actually able to get in edgeways with a bid, you need like 40 million. I am such a long way off that. I'm going to be playing until I'm old and grey. Okay, older and greyer, alright? So, let's go. We're going to go to Nofika's altar, but I think while we're here, before we get into the intrigue of this area, let's jump into the Ethernet. Now this year's All Saints Wake, I'll just jump over here and grab the little in-game event notice. All Saints Wake this year, okay. It began on October 17. It's actually been now running for 9 days. We're running out of time to participate. And by the time you see this, it will be over. So, never fear, however. With many of these events, your character only has to be level 15, and this is one such event. Level 15 or above to start the quest. However, your character must be able to travel this year to Old Gridania, or New Gridania, and that means you need to have completed the Envoy quest for your area. Once you complete the Envoy quest, air travel will be unlocked and you can travel by air to the other cities, and you will also have already traveled to the other cities and unlocked their Aetherites. So, actually, I really hope you've unlocked the Aetherites. Whenever you travel to a new city, if it's got more than one Aetherite, go around and unlock all the Aetherites, alright? Don't forget that the Great Big Aetherite is part of the Ethernet for that city. It took me several hundred hours before I worked this out, I'm ashamed to say, but that's the way it is. And we finally got to work it out. So we want to go to Old Gridania. Now I could just click on this and we could see the place we need to go. Or I can just go down the list here. We'll go to the Conjurer's Guild, which is this one here. We'll just click on that. You can click on either the name twice or on the Ether Shard once. Actually, you know what? We don't want to go here because we're doing the event in between. So let's go meet Alphinaud after we've finished partying, which is over here at Makeddo's Amphitheatre. So whenever an event is held in Old Gridania, you will find it is held at Makeddo's Amphitheatre, which on your map is in Old Gridania. So you have New Gridania where you arrive. Okay, you arrive here, you toddle up to Old Gridania, and Makeddo's Amphitheatre has its own Ether Shard, but it also is down here. So up here is where your waterfall is. Over here is your Lancers Guild, somewhere in there. Oh, there it is, Lancers Guild. You have your Leatherworkers Guild up here. So down here is Makeddo. So we're going to go and see what this year's All Saints Wake is all about. Here we go. The Continental Circus Publicist. Well, let's have a quick chit chat with them. Hello there, Pumpkin. Enjoying the festivities, I hope? If there's anything you'd like to know, just ask away. Well, what's the Continental Circus? As our name suggests, we're a troupe of entertainers who travel the length and breadth of our land. Our mission, turning frowns upside down. This time of year typically finds us in Eorzea to help the people celebrate All Saints' Wake. We prepared all manner of exciting events that will delight even as they affright you. Why not cast aside the daily grind of adventure in a while and join all the festivities? Well, now you mention it, what's All Saints' Wake? Legend has it that once a year the 12 honour the saints by hosting a lavish feast in the heavens. While the saints are away, the rest of us will play. Fearing for their lives, the people took to shut themselves inside their homes. Those who had no choice but to venture outside disguised themselves as fiends in the hopes that they would go unnoticed by the real ones parading their streets. Frightening business, isn't it? But that's all in the past now. For these days, we have valorous adventurers like you to keep our cities safe when the saints are away. Having no more reason to be afraid, the people went and turned All Saints' Wake into a fun celebration, a truly delightful state of affairs. Oh, thanks for that. So, that's how to participate. Begin the quest Frights of Fancy by speaking to the pumpkin-headed apparition in Old Gridania, which is where we are. That's all the clues you get in the announcement. However, like every other event, this one has a vendor, but I don't think we can access it this year. Hello, my dear. The prizes for this All Saints' Wake most raucous revellers aren't ready just yet, but you can soak in the haunting atmosphere while you wait. Let's not soak in the haunting atmosphere. Oh, what's the genial geyser do? Hi. League of Travelling Performers has reserved the masquerade venue as their own this All Saints' Wake. If it is an invitation you seek, look no further than my pumpkin-headed acquaintance on stage. All routes point to the Pumpkinhead. Let's go. All right. Ayana. No, not Ayana. Sorry. Nice to see other players, okay. Pumpkin-headed apparition. The pumpkin-headed apparition proffers out her hand in invitation. This quest is available for a limited time only. This quest actually runs until November the 5th. So we'll see what I'll be scheduling this on. Yeah, the 23rd. It will be well and truly done. All right, let's accept this invitation. Oops, let's make sure I can monitor what I'm doing. There we go. Well met, adventurer. It is once again All Saints' Wake, the season where fiends make for fine friends. Enjoying the festivities, I trust? While the saints are away, a well-known theatre troupe has stopped in Gridania to play. They host a grand masquerade in the old manor that they might sate their hunger for merriment. You have yet to meet these fearsome folk, but they are known as the Continental Circus, performers who relish the bone-chilling nights of the All Saints' Wake season. Their ghoulish gala is the talk of the town, and knowing the troupe's appetite for mischief as I do, I sense what lies in store. I implore you to view the spectacle for yourself. You need only speak with the genial geyser. He shall guide your steps to the haunted manor. He shall he? Well, let's see if he's... There we go. Look, I've got an invitation. Hi. Come one, come all, to the Continental Circus's grand masquerade. Shall I guide you to the festivities, good madam? You shall indeed. Let's go. All right. I'm disguised as a samurai. Let's talk to the impresario. I bid you welcome, dear guest. It is our honor to host you. An adventurer. Well, yeah. No, not that adventurers are unwelcome, mind. I harbour no ill will against them whatsoever. Now tell me, what brings you to our manor of happy horrors? The masquerade, of course. Although your introduction is very suspicious. Are you now? Then I ask you to forgive me my initial scrutiny. Past experiences have made me rather wary of adventurers, let's say. What did you do in the past, mister? But I tire of shadowy schemes and accusations that often follow. So I shall lay bare our secret as a gesture of good faith. However, you must swear never to share with others what I reveal. Though we of the Continental Circus disguise ourselves as mortal men and women, we are in truth a troupe of otherworldly creatures. For some of us, our monstrous costumes are in fact our true form. Were my own glamour dispelled, you would see me as I truly am, an imp. Not so long ago, our ultimate goal was to drown this realm in blackest night, and usher in a long-coveted legend among my kind, the Night of Devilry, where our leader, the Great God, would rise again and strike terror into the hearts of men. But, as a few Voidsent compatriots have recently taught us, there lies a reward even sweeter than mortal fear, one that fills our hearts and satiates our souls. Gratitude. One taste, they said, and we would be unable to deny the fulfillment it brought us. Thus the circus abandoned its malevolent ambitions to pursue honeyed words of appreciation instead. When glorious autumn twilight reigns supreme across this realm, mortal and Voidsent must join hands in harmony and carouse to their heart's content. In doing so, all shall know unforgettable thrills and chills beyond comprehension. Our masquerade is proof of this desire. Listen well, and you too shall hear our guests cry out in splendor. Ah! Please make it stop! What was that? Well, I'm scared. I want my mummy. Oh dear, that does not look good. Right. Why? That's not splendorous at all. But please, you must believe me. We have no intention of affrighting our guests. At least, not like this. Everyone swore a solemn oath to entertain. How has it come to this? Oh, you needn't glare those daggers at me. I haven't the foggiest as to what has transpired, but perhaps you might use your skills of inquiry to our benefit. I beseech you, adventurer, survey the manor and discover what has brought our patrons such distress, starting with the second floor. I shall remain here to oversee affairs. Once you have identified the cause of this chaos, you must inform me with all due haste. Should fell rumours begin to spread, I fear the Adventurers Guild's suspicions will soon follow. All right. You may now use mounts within the haunted manor. However, I'm afraid I'm going to use mounts within the haunted manor next episode. Guys, if you've enjoyed this episode so far and you would like to see more, please hit like. And if you wish to have me look for more things for Roselore to adventure in, please hit subscribe and let me know in the comments. Or, just let me know in the comments. But subscribing would be nice. So, on that note, I am going to leave you. And I'll check you later. See you in a couple of days.